Hey there, welcome to the show. This is Jim Donovan. I'm so glad that you're here with me. Today we're going to talk all about the science behind healing with sound. At the end of the podcast, I'm going to take you through one of my favorite new sound healing exercises. Way back in the 1990s, I took my first ever yoga class, and I'll never forget the feeling afterward. I knew immediately that it had helped me, especially the Om chant that closed out the session. I distinctly remember noticing that I could actually feel a change in my body and mind from doing that. I felt centered, relaxed, and at ease. My mind was no longer racing. I had clarity for the first time in weeks, and my whole body just felt lighter. What I didn't understand at the time was why it was happening. Not long after, I was practicing yoga a few times a week, and each class opened and closed with a few minutes of this chanting, and it felt great. I could hardly believe how a couple of yoga poses and Om chants could make me feel so good and so quickly. And unlike a lot of other relaxation techniques I'd tried up until that point, it never lost its effectiveness over time. Not long after, I began doing these chants at home, in the morning and before bed, or whenever I felt a wave of anxiety coming on. Without fail, these chants made me feel like $1,000,000 every single time. I often thought to myself, why doesn't everyone know how to do this? Now, mind you, this is about a decade or so before yoga was as popular as it is now. When I started sharing with people how they could use this sound healing technique to reduce stress, I quickly learned that many people regarded it as too new age and didn't take it seriously. Though it was frustrating to try to convince people otherwise, I knew I couldn't give up. That's when I decided to dig into the research and see for myself if anyone had studied how sound helps the healing process. I pored over peer-reviewed studies from the National Institute of Health and was delighted to find an emerging body of literature on how sound and health intersect. I discovered that healing happens in multiple ways when we harness the way vibrational energy affects the body. Of course, Western medicine already uses vibration for healing in a variety of ways approved by the FDA, including ultrasound healing for issues like tendinitis, kidney stone removal, glaucoma relief, or speeding the healing process for broken bones. Outside of conventional medicine, there's also the increasing prevalence of using vibration to stimulate the vagus nerve. This helps with conditions including epilepsy and treatment-resistant depression. Then there's the stimulation of the vagus nerve using self-created sounds like humming or chanting, which are a key part of what I now teach. Research on this variation shows significant benefits for thwarting depression, anxiety, and irritability, as well as lowering blood pressure and having a positive effect on heart rate variability. To further demonstrate the benefits, let's take a look at a recent study. In some 2016 research published in the Journal of Clinical and Diagnostic Research, scientists conducted a study to gauge whether producing self-generated sounds would affect participants' resting cardiovascular parameters, including blood pressure and heart rate. 60 healthy adolescents were divided into two groups. One group, led by qualified yoga doctors, was instructed to sit in a comfortable posture with an erect spine and closed eyes. Then they were led through a slow, deep breathing exercise. I'll walk you through the details of this exercise in just a moment so you can do it too. During the exhale, participants were instructed to chant an Om mantra using the sounds Ah, O, and all in one breath, while also producing a humming sound through the nostrils. This chanting technique causes a mild vibration on the inner walls of both the throat and the nostrils. The participants did this for 3 to 4 minutes at a time, with a 1-minute rest in between, up to 5 times. In contrast, the control group was instructed to breathe normally, about 12 to 16 breaths per minute, with their eyes open in a comfortable sitting posture. Now, what they discovered was that the group making sound entered a relaxed state such that their parasympathetic activity, which controls the rest and digest functions in the body, superseded the sympathetic activity, also known as the fight or flight system. In other words, their rest and digest system turned on, and their fight or flight system turned off, all by using the power of sound. Researchers also found significant reductions in both resting heart rate levels and blood pressure in the sound group compared with the control group. They go on to say that, and I quote, "The sound practice improves the cardiovascular parameters through parasympathetic dominance in adolescence, and it can be practiced routinely for the reduction of stress-induced cardiovascular risk in their future." In simple terms, these participants used an easy sound exercise to help themselves feel better and reduce their risk of stress-induced cardiovascular issues. And just to be clear, these benefits were achieved without handfuls of prescription pills, without worry of addiction or liver damage, and without a copay. You can't beat that. Now, if you're ready to feel the power of sound for yourself, let's try the exercise based on the methods they used in the study we just talked about. First, find a comfortable position to sit in. Sit with a tall, upright posture, with your eyes closed if possible. Now, this part's kind of funny, but try it out. I'd like you to place your thumbs over your ear canals. This will help you eliminate distraction and to feel the exercise in a more pronounced way. On the next inhalation, we're going to exhale 3 syllables, all in one breath. Ah, oh, and We'll try to make each of those equal length. By the end of one exhalation, we'll have completed all 3 sounds. Okay, so let's try this. Breathe in. Ah, and then oh, and last one. Good. Let's do a couple more of these together. Ah, oh, Ah, oh, Couple more. You're doing great. Ah, oh, One more. Ah, oh, Excellent. Now just take a few moments to notice how you're feeling after doing the exercise. Now in the study, they continued that exercise for 45 minutes. At first, you might experiment with performing the exercise for 1 or 2 minutes and build up your stamina over time. Always listen to your body and only do what feels most comfortable. Doing a practice like this is never a contest to see how long you can go. Okay. Now, though cultures globally have been using and benefiting from sound healing techniques for centuries, modern science is just now, finally, validating the healing potential of sound. And the ability to create sound energy is one of the body's many built-in features to help you heal and feel better. It's just that conventional medicine has never shown us how to do it. Learning these techniques have undoubtedly changed my life for the better, and I've dedicated my career to showing others how to do the same. In fact, I've recently compiled my decades of research and experience into one single protocol, so you can garner the same benefits and learn at your own pace in the comfort of your own home. It's called my Whole Body Sound Healing System. To learn more, visit donovanhealth.com. Well, that is it for today's Quick Hit podcast. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm so glad you could be here with us. And if you enjoyed today's podcast, please feel free to let people know about it. Let them know what we do here. We love getting new listeners all the time. This is Jim Donovan, and we'll see you next time. Take good care.